The story of Listerine begins in the late 19th century, long before it became a familiar household product. Originally developed by two American chemists, its purpose was purely medical. Inspired by the antiseptic principles introduced by Dr. Joseph Lister, the formula was created as a surgical disinfectant. Hospitals used it to clean instruments and operating rooms, and medical staff applied it to wounds to reduce infection. At that time, Listerine was not associated with oral hygiene. In the early 20th century, the product's uses expanded. It was marketed for sore throats, household cleaning, and even as a floor disinfectant. Despite its versatility, sales remained modest. Most consumers had no need for a strong antiseptic in daily life. After World War I, as consumer goods multiplied and public health campaigns became more common, Listerine still struggled to find a stable market identity. This changed when the company recognized a potential commercial opportunity in the concept of bad breath. Although bad breath existed, it was not widely discussed and lacked a medical-sounding name. The company adopted and promoted halitosis, a medical term for bad breath. It means the smell of someone's breath is unpleasant, often because of bacteria in the mouth or poor oral hygiene, presenting it as a common yet largely unaddressed condition. The aim was to position Listerine as a practical solution. Marketing campaigns in the 1920s and 1930s introduced a new strategy. Advertisements described halitosis as a social obstacle, particularly focusing on personal relationships and marriage prospects. These ads often featured women who faced social or romantic difficulties because of unfresh breath. One of the most notable slogans was, "Often a bridesmaid, never a bride." The message suggested that bad breath, not personality or circumstance, could be the reason for a woman's lack of romantic success. Listerine's marketing focused heavily on women who had lost their husbands during the war and were entering peacetime society again. Advertisements suggested that if they hoped to remarry or re-establish their social lives, they should address halitosis, a term the company promoted as a common but often unnoticed issue. The implication was not that these women actually had bad breath, but that good personal hygiene, including fresh breath, was an important part of moving forward. This strategy used social expectations of the time to position mouthwash as a necessary step for maintaining attractiveness and readiness for new relationships. Post-war campaigns encouraged women, including those who were widowed or hoping to remarry, to pay attention to personal hygiene as part of adapting to peacetime society. The focus remained practical and social. Maintaining good breath was presented as a basic expectation in modern life. This marketing approach proved highly effective. By framing halitosis as a manageable yet serious issue, Listerine positioned itself as a necessary daily hygiene product rather than a medical treatment. Public attitudes shifted. Fresh breath became associated with politeness, professionalism, and general cleanliness. As a result, mouthwash consumption increased significantly, and Listerine became a leading product in the emerging category of oral care solutions. As consumer culture expanded in the mid-20th century, the brand adjusted its messaging again. The tone of the advertisements became less urgent and more health-focused. Instead of highlighting social failure, they emphasized routine cleanliness, dental health, and prevention. This transition aligned with broader trends in public health and personal care. The product was no longer framed around a problem to be feared, but as part of a modern hygiene routine in homes across America and beyond. The marketing strategy of that period often placed disproportionate pressure on women, presenting personal hygiene as a responsibility tied to their value in social and romantic situations. Advertisements suggested that women risked losing opportunities for companionship or marriage if they did not meet certain expectations, including having fresh breath. These messages were not applied to men with the same intensity, creating an imbalance in how personal care was portrayed. As a result, women were frequently shown as the ones expected to maintain higher standards of appearance and social readiness, reflecting the cultural attitudes of the time. Throughout history, people have often paid closer attention to their hygiene and well-being when these habits were linked to social expectations. Many individuals are more motivated to adopt new routines when they believe it will improve their chances of being accepted, respected, or considered attractive by others. Personal care practices, such as grooming, skincare, or fresh breath, tend to become more consistent when they are associated not just with health, but with maintaining relationships or avoiding social embarrassment. This pattern shows that hygiene is shaped not only by medical needs, but also by cultural norms and the desire to belong. Today, Listerine is recognized globally as a standard hygiene product. Its early history is an example of how marketing, medical science, and cultural norms can intersect to influence everyday habits. The product's success did not come from its original purpose, but from its ability to adapt to social expectations and how it communicated to consumers its new use. Was it the right method? Was it a sort of discrimination for social acceptance? Nowadays, this marketing trick wouldn't be much acceptable. Let me know what you think in the comments.